Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to talk about something that is silently destroying your life. There is something silently destroying your life right now, and the most dangerous part is that you don't even notice it. It doesn't make noise. It doesn't look like a threat. It feels normal, even harmless, but day by day it is taking something away from you. It steals your time, one small delay at a time. It drains your energy, making you feel tired before you even begin. And slowly, without warning, it starts taking your future. You tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow. You say, I'll do it later. You promise, just one more minute. And those small moments turn into lost hours, lost days, and eventually lost opportunities. The truth is, nothing dramatic happens at the beginning. There is no big failure, no sudden collapse. Everything feels fine. But while you are waiting, while you are delaying, your dreams are quietly fading away. The goals you once cared about become distant. The life you wanted starts slipping further out of reach. And one day, you look back and realize you are not where you wanted to be. Not because you couldn't do it, but because you didn't act. So what is this silent enemy? What is this invisible force that holds you back without you realizing it? It is not lack of talent. It is not lack of opportunity. It is something much simpler, but far more dangerous. It is laziness. Now that you understand what this silent enemy is, the real problem begins to reveal itself in your daily life. Laziness doesn't appear as something obvious. It hides behind simple, familiar thoughts that feel completely normal. You tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow. You say, I'll start later. You convince yourself, just one more minute. These words seem harmless, but they are the beginning of a dangerous pattern. Every time you delay a task, you are not just postponing work, you are training your mind to avoid action. At first, the consequences are small. You delay one task, nothing serious happens. You waste 1 hour, it feels acceptable. You ignore one opportunity, it doesn't seem important. But the real danger is not in one moment, it is in repetition. When this behavior repeats every day, it slowly shapes your life. Days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, and without realizing it, you fall behind. Opportunities pass, progress stops, and your goals begin to fade. This is why laziness is so dangerous. It is not just a habit that you can easily fix. It is a mindset that controls your decisions. It changes the way you think, the way you act, and ultimately, the direction of your life. If you don't recognize this, you will keep repeating the same cycle. But the moment you see the pattern, you gain the power to break it. And this is where the real danger becomes impossible to ignore. As you saw earlier, laziness is not a single action. It is a repeated pattern. And what makes it truly destructive is that it doesn't ruin your life instantly. It destroys it slowly, quietly, and consistently. You waste 1 hour and it feels harmless. You delay one task and nothing serious happens. You skip one opportunity and you tell yourself it's not a big deal. In those moments, everything still feels under control. But the problem is not what happens once, it is what happens when it repeats. That 1 hour becomes many hours. That one delay becomes a habit. That one missed opportunity becomes a pattern of avoidance. Day by day, without any dramatic warning, your progress begins to slow down. While you are staying in the same place, others are moving forward. While you are waiting, time is not waiting for you, and then one day, something hits you. You look at your life, and you realize you are far behind where you once dreamed of being. Not because you failed in a big moment, but because you lost in small moments again and again. Your goals feel distant. Your confidence feels weaker. And deep inside, you know the truth. It wasn't one big mistake. It was the accumulation of small delays. This is the real cost of laziness. It doesn't shout. It doesn't warn you. It simply takes everything from you, one small choice at a time. But here's the good news. No matter how far you feel you have fallen behind, no matter how many times you have delayed or avoided action, you are not stuck. You are not broken. And most importantly, you are not controlled by laziness unless you choose to be. Everything you have seen so far is not meant to discourage you. It is meant to wake you up. Because the moment you become aware of the pattern, you gain the power to change it. You can take back control of your time. You can rebuild your focus. You can train your mind to act instead of delay. Laziness is not your personality. It is a habit, and every habit can be changed. But change does not happen by thinking about it. It happens by understanding and taking action. And that is exactly what this video is going to help you do. In the next few minutes, you are going to learn powerful lessons that will completely shift the way you see laziness. You will understand why it happens, how it controls you, and most importantly, how to break free from it. Not someday, not later, but starting right now. So don't leave this video halfway. Don't delay this moment like you have delayed so many others before. Stay with it until the end, because this could be the turning point where you stop postponing your life and finally start taking control of it. Now that you understand you can change, let's begin with the most important truth. Laziness is not what you think it is. It is not a lack of energy, and it is not because you are weak or incapable. In most cases, laziness is simply your mind avoiding effort. When you face something difficult, your brain looks for an easier option. It wants comfort. It wants quick dopamine from simple activities, and it tries to avoid anything that requires focus, discipline, and hard work. That is why you can feel too tired to study or work, but still have the energy to scroll on your phone for hours or watch videos endlessly. Your energy did not disappear. Your mind just chose the easier path. This is the moment you need to see the truth. What you call laziness is actually resistance. Resistance is the uncomfortable feeling that appears right before you do something important. It is not a sign to stop. It is a signal that you are about to grow. Once you understand this, your perspective changes. Instead of saying, "I am lazy," you start saying, "I'm avoiding effort." This small shift is powerful because it gives you control. Now you can act. The next time your mind tells you to delay, recognize it. Don't believe it. Take action, even if it is small. Because every time you act, you break the pattern. And remember this, laziness is not your reality. It is your excuse. Now that you understand laziness is not real but simply resistance, the next step is even more important. You must stop waiting. Most people believe they need motivation before they start. They think they need to feel ready, energized, and focused before taking action. But this is one of the biggest traps. Waiting for the right feeling keeps you stuck, because that perfect moment rarely comes, and even when it does, it doesn't last. The truth is simple but powerful. You don't need motivation to start. You need to start to create motivation. Action comes first and motivation follows. Think about it. Every time you finally begin a task you were avoiding, something changes. Your mind becomes clearer. Your focus improves. Your energy increases. This is because action creates momentum, and momentum makes it easier to continue. So how do you break the waiting habit? Use a simple technique, the 5-minute rule. Tell yourself, "I will do this for just 5 minutes, not an hour, not something big, just 5 minutes." This makes it easier for your mind to accept the task, and once you start, you will often continue longer than expected, because starting is the hardest part. This is the shift you need to make. Don't wait to feel ready. Start, and you will become ready. The next time your mind tells you to delay, don't listen. Take action immediately, even if it is small or imperfect, because in the end, you don't need motivation. You need action. Now that you understand laziness is not real but simply resistance, the next step is even more important. You must stop waiting. Most people believe they need motivation before they start. They think they need to feel ready, energized, and focused before taking action. But this is one of the biggest traps. Waiting for the right feeling keeps you stuck, because that perfect moment rarely comes, and even when it does, it doesn't last. The truth is simple but powerful. You don't need motivation to start. You need to start to create motivation. Action comes first and motivation follows. Think about it. Every time you finally begin a task you were avoiding, something changes. Your mind becomes clearer. Your focus improves. Your energy increases. This is because action creates momentum, and momentum makes it easier to continue. So how do you break the waiting habit? Use a simple technique, the 5-minute rule. Tell yourself, I will do this for just 5 minutes, not an hour, not something big, just 5 minutes. This makes it easier for your mind to accept the task, and once you start, you will often continue longer than expected, because starting is the hardest part. This is the shift you need to make. Don't wait to feel ready. Start, and you will become ready. The next time your mind tells you to delay, don't listen. Take action immediately, even if it is small or imperfect, because in the end, you don't need motivation. You need action. Now that you understand the importance of choosing discipline over comfort, the next step is learning how to support that discipline in your daily life. Because the truth is, laziness is not just about mindset, it is also about poor management of your time and energy. Many people say they feel lazy, but in reality, they are simply disorganized and constantly distracted. Your phone, social media, and endless content are quietly stealing your focus. And when your focus is gone, your energy follows. By the time you decide to work, you already feel tired and unmotivated. Without a clear plan, your day controls you instead of you controlling your day. You wake up, react to whatever comes, and waste your most valuable hours without realizing it. This is why discipline becomes difficult, not because you are weak, but because your environment is working against you. To fix this, you need structure. Start your day with a simple morning routine. Don't begin with your phone, begin with purpose. Identify your most important task and do it early when your energy is highest. Use time blocking to divide your day into focused sessions where you work without distraction. And most importantly, reduce unnecessary energy drains. Limit mindless scrolling, reduce noise, and protect your attention. When you control your time, you protect your energy. And when your energy is strong, taking action becomes easier. So remember this: if you don't control your time, it will control you. 9. Now that you have learned how to control your time and energy, there is one final barrier you must break if you truly want to defeat laziness. That barrier is excuses. Because no matter how well you plan your day, no matter how strong your discipline is, excuses can still destroy your progress. Laziness survives on excuses. It hides behind logical reasons that sound completely valid. You say, I'm too tired. You say, I don't have enough time. You say, I'll do it later. And in the moment, these reasons feel true. But here's the truth you must face. Most of the time, these are not real reasons. They are excuses your mind creates to avoid effort. They protect your comfort in the present, but they slowly damage your future. Every time you accept an excuse, you weaken your self-control. You train your mind to delay. And over time, this becomes your default behavior. The shift you need to make is simple but powerful. Stop making excuses and start taking responsibility. Instead of asking, "Why can't I do this?" ask, "How can I do this?" Every time you feel like delaying, pause and ask yourself one honest question. Is this a real reason or just an excuse? This question forces you to see the truth. And once you see it, you can act. Because in the end, excuses make today easy, but tomorrow painful. Now that you have learned to eliminate excuses, the next step is to build a system that keeps you moving forward. Because removing excuses is not enough if you don't replace them with consistent action. Many people make a critical mistake. They work extremely hard for one day, feel motivated, and then stop for the next few days. They believe intensity is the key to success. But the truth is different. Consistency is far more powerful than intensity. When you only act based on motivation, your progress becomes unstable. One day you move forward, the next day you fall back. This creates frustration and makes you feel like you are not improving. And slowly, this pattern brings you back to laziness. But real growth does not come from occasional effort. It comes from small actions repeated every single day. Instead of trying to do everything at once, focus on doing something every day. Even if it is just 10 minutes, even if it feels small. Because small actions create momentum, and momentum builds consistency. Over time, these small efforts turn into powerful results. To make this work, you need a system. Create a simple routine. Decide when you will work and what you will do. Remove the need to think or decide every day. When action becomes a habit, it becomes automatic. And when it is automatic, laziness has no place to grow. Remember this. You don't defeat laziness once. You defeat it every single day through action. Now that you have built the habit of taking action every day, there is one final level you must reach if you truly want to eliminate laziness. You must learn to stay uncomfortable, because consistency will take you forward, but discomfort will transform you. The truth is simple. Growth and comfort cannot exist together. Every time you try to improve your life, you will feel resistance. You will feel tired, distracted, or unmotivated, and this is completely normal. Your brain is designed to avoid pain and protect you from effort. It wants you to stay safe, relaxed, and comfortable. But here is the shift you must make. Discomfort is not your enemy. It is a signal. It means you are doing something that matters. It means you are stepping out of your old patterns and moving toward growth. When you feel like stopping, that is exactly the moment you should continue. When you feel like delaying, that is when you should act. Imagine yourself working even when you don't feel like it. Staying focused while distractions are calling you. Choosing discipline even when it feels difficult. In those moments, you are building mental strength. You are training your mind to move forward no matter what. And over time, what once felt uncomfortable will become your new normal. Remember this. Your comfort zone is your prison. The longer you stay in it, the longer you stay stuck. But the moment you step out of it and stay there, you become free. Now that you have reached this point, everything becomes clear. Laziness is not who you are. It is not your personality, and it is not something you are born with. It is simply a habit that has been built over time through repeated delays, excuses, and choices for comfort. And just like any habit, it can be changed. You have already seen the truth. You have understood the pattern. Now the only thing that matters is what you do next. The formula is simple, but powerful. First, stop making excuses. Every time you catch yourself saying later or "I'm too tired," recognize it for what it is and refuse to accept it. Second, start now, not tomorrow, not at the perfect moment, but right now, even if it is small, even if it is imperfect, because action is what breaks the cycle. And third, stay consistent. Don't rely on motivation, Don't wait for the right feeling. Show up every day, no matter how you feel, and take action. When you follow this process, something begins to change inside you. You start building discipline. You start trusting yourself. You start becoming the person who takes action instead of delaying. And once that identity is formed, laziness no longer has power over you. So remember this: you don't need to change your life overnight. You just need to change your actions starting today.